Hello and welcome to our midweek meditation. I'm Victor Kim, the minister here at Richmond Presbyterian Church, and it's good to be with you. I think most of you will know that I'm going to be recommended to be appointed as the next Principal Clerk of the General Assembly of the Presbyterian Church in Canada. This will need to be affirmed and confirmed by the General Assembly of the Church at our meeting in June, but it's already been approved by the Search Committee and the Assembly Council, which is the body that will make this recommendation, responsible for making this recommendation. What this means for those of you who may not yet have heard is that my family and I will be moving to Toronto by the end of June to take up this new position with the Presbyterian Church as the Principal Clerk. The Reverend Stephen Kendall, who has served the church in this position for, I think, the past 24 years, will be retiring. And I want to give thanks to God for Stephen and for his ministry as the Principal Clerk of our denomination for these past many years. Now, this decision to be considered for this position wasn't something that I had been planning at all. When the news of this impending vacancy was announced last year, I have to say that I gave not 1 ounce, not 1 minute of thought to it. I was happy here in my call to be the minister of Richmond Presbyterian Church. And it really wasn't until three different people I respect and value for their friendship, their opinions, their wisdom, and their discernment. It wasn't until that they separately spoke with me on different occasions about whether I would be interested in this position that I began to think further about the possibility. Now, this is how a call works, as I understand it. It's not about what we want to pursue as much as about what others might sense about our gifts and where those gifts might be best utilized, where those gifts might be needed. This is what we sort of term as the outward call. Others outside of ourselves discerning things about us. Then we respond to that outward call with an inward consideration, an inward reflection, whether we feel that we are being called to a particular ministry or not. And there are lots of variables that make up this inner sense of call, including what does your family think? What about the timing of the call? Whether you feel that you actually have those gifts that others might see in you, and whether you're prepared to respond to the possibility of a new thing that God may be doing in your life or in the midst of where you are. You know, this is sort of how I ended up here at Richmond Presbyterian Church in the first place. I was quite happy and settled in my previous congregation. I'd been there a long time and I was quite happy when a few people that I knew and trusted and respected for their wisdom and their discernment began to plant a little seed in me about a call, maybe to this congregation here on the west coast of Canada. They started to invite me to envision a new start for myself and for my family. If these people had never brought it up, I might still be at my previous church, happily engaged in that ministry to this day. But they did. And I spoke about it with my family. We prayed about it, and we ended up here at RPC, and I don't regret a moment of it. I've enjoyed, cherished. It's been a blessed 6 years, and I'm grateful for my time here in Richmond. I know it feels too soon for some of you, and sometimes it feels too soon for me as well. But I do believe that this is how the call of God works. God doesn't always wait until we think it's the right time. God's ways aren't our ways, and we need to be able to adapt and to respond. We also need to be able to trust, This is where I have so much confidence in God's leading, not only for me, but for the life of the church. God will always provide what we need. It may take some time. It might not be as straightforward as we might hope, but God is faithful. God is faithful. And of that, I am absolutely sure. That familiar passage from the prophet Jeremiah is of such comfort to me at a time like this. You know how it goes, right? For surely I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. Plans for your welfare and not for harm, to give you a future with hope. I believe that with all my heart. not only for me, but for this congregation here at Richmond as well. And God has already been at work preparing for this transition. Dr. Richard Topping will be the person who will lead this time of change and transition. And Richard is so well equipped. He is so blessed with gifts around leadership, gifts around preaching, gifts around just pastoral presence. I'm grateful to Richard, who was also the interim moderator when I was called to be the minister here at Richmond Presbyterian Church. Perhaps this time Richard will get it right. My friends, I remain hopeful. I remain hopeful for the future of Richmond Presbyterian Church and for the future of the Presbyterian Church in Canada. I'm excited about the opportunity to serve in a broader capacity for our denomination. And I trust that the very, very happy experiences that I have been blessed to have with the congregations that I've served, and the optimism and the generosity and the faith of the people that I've come to know and call my friends, I'm excited and trust that these happy experiences, that these wonderful people that have helped shape and form me will continue to shape and form the new ministry which I will begin to embrace. I want to pray for God's Spirit to continue infusing the people of Richmond Presbyterian Church, you, with hope, vision, with generosity, and with love. And I'll be praying and watching with interest and with anticipation for the new thing that God will be doing here at Richmond Presbyterian Church. May God bless you. May God bless you. The musical meditation today from Jannie is an excerpt of the Andante from Bach's Italian Concerto. I have no idea what it is, but Jannie does, and I know that you're going to enjoy it. So enjoy. God bless. We'll see you next week.